I am a person who loves being in my kitchen any time of year, but winter is an especially cozy time where we have the oven running almost all day, every day. A lot of mornings I will set something out or bring a dough together or get something in the Instant Pot, and I'll tell any kids who walk in the kitchen, this is what we're having for lunch, this is what we're having for dinner, and we all kind of look forward to whatever cozy thing will be coming out of the kitchen later that day. One thing that is definitely on the menu this year is sourdough croissant bread. This is a recipe over on farmhouseonboone.com. I am, of course, making it with my usual 2/3 whole grain, 1/3 all-purpose like I do with all boules, though I think this would taste fine with 100% whole grain. I'm using hard white wheat. What is so wonderful about this is, like croissant dough, any pastry dough, butter is added, but it isn't laminated, so it's so much easier. Basically, it's just like any other boule that you've made, but you do one stretch and fold as usual, and then on the second and third stretch and fold, you fold in grated frozen butter. It creates these flaky layers, and the end result truly does taste like a croissant, but it's just really so simple. It is baked just like a normal boule in a preheated Dutch oven, half the time with the lid on, half the time with the lid off. It's shaped the same way. The only real difference is adding that butter. I'll leave a link to the recipe below. I am serving our croissant bread alongside cabbage roll soup. This is another easy recipe over on farmhouseonboone.com. I substituted venison for the ground beef because we have a lot of venison right now. There are certain things that I need to keep stocked in my winter pantry so that we always have something to make. And the way that I can source high quality and organic ingredients is with Thrive Market, which is the sponsor of today's video. Thrive Market is an online grocery store that specializes in stocking things that you don't have to read the labels for. They only allow the highest quality on their website, which makes it easy for a busy mom like me who prioritizes feeding my family healthy. With Thrive Market, you can skip reading labels and second guessing. Everything is already vetted, so you can shop stress-free and get everything delivered right to your door. I love that on the Thrive Market website, you can sort by dietary preference. So if you are paleo, gluten-free, dairy-free, you can make it to where you only see the things that you want. So it makes for a very streamlined shopping experience. You're not gonna waste tons of time browsing through items you aren't interested in. I shop so frequently on Thrive Market that when I get on the website, I normally just add all the things that I usually get from Thrive Market right to my cart. I can be in and out of there in no time, plus orders over $49 ship for free. Sometimes when I have a little bit more time on my hands, I like to browse through the deals section, see if there's something new I wanna try that's for a really great price. Sometimes I'll see things that I already purchased that are on a really great sale, and of course I stock up at that time. Some things that I always keep on hand from Thrive Market: sourdough pasta, spices, tomato products like diced tomatoes, tomato paste, lots of condiments like ketchup, mustard, coconut aminos. There are so many products that I want to be organic, but I can't find that locally. And if I do, or if I drive to find it, it's really expensive. I can get it on Thrive Market for a great price with really great ingredients. Click the link in the description below or go to thrivemarket.com/farmhouseonboone to get 30% off your first order, plus a free gift when you join Thrive Market today. Again, thank you so much, Thrive Market, for sponsoring today's video. I went out to the garden to see if I could find some herbs underneath all of the snow, and this sage was just as green and beautiful as usual. The next thing that is on our winter menu is a sweet potato hash. For winter, I think of things like root vegetables. Potatoes, sweet potatoes are cozy and warm, especially with the addition of warm spices like cinnamon, cumin, and chili powder. That's why this recipe is such a winner for our winter table. Now, it calls for sausage, and I mentioned that right now we have so much venison, so instead of doing sausage, I just made sausage or a sausage flavor with our deer meat by adding a bunch of sage and garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, several other spices. This dish is super simple. It's essentially cooking up some meat and chopping a bunch of vegetables and combining it together, but so surprisingly flavorful. Adding fresh garlic and onions is a little bit of extra work compared to adding garlic powder or onion powder, but it really adds so much flavor. I like to crush the garlic with the side of a knife. That will loosen it from the peel so it peels really easily. I also have a garlic press that makes chopping really quick, but sometimes I don't really feel like washing it, so I just run my knife through it really quickly. We go through a lot of garlic and onions in this house. If you're making this recipe with pork, sausage, or ground beef, you likely won't need any additional fat when cooking the vegetables. I added a bit because venison is a very low-fat meat, and I wanted to give the sautéed vegetables a little extra flavor, so I used some olive oil. What I love about a hash or a skillet dinner like this is you can adapt it for seasonal flavors. So warm and spicy and root vegetables and venison for wintertime, but something a bit more fresh in the summertime with lots of those garden vegetables. You could make a different skillet dinner for every season and really every single month. There are so many wonderful flavor combinations. But this recipe in particular is over on the website. Again, I will leave links down in the description box below to everything. With the way that I cook, I find myself using repeat ingredients over and over and over again, but just combined in ever so slightly different ways. So today I'm making Salisbury steak, which is quite similar as far as the ingredient profile and what to stock in your pantry and freezer, to meatballs and meatloaf. With one, you press it in a pan and add ketchup on top. With another, you might add a tomato pasta sauce or a cream sauce. And with this one, you add a gravy. I really love that idea because this means that I always have what I need on hand to make many different things. I'm not stocking my pantry with all kinds of ingredients that I might only use for one thing and then forget about. For the most part, it is just the same things over and over and over again. And the variety comes in the way they're prepared and what they're served with what they're topped with. I can also sway them seasonally with spices and herbs. It's a lot of flexibility, but also predictability when it comes to stocking, which is a constant thing for the homemaker and home cook. I love that this recipe is another way for me to use up ground beef and ground venison, which I always have a ton of, but also my sourdough breadcrumbs. So for anyone who bakes a ton of sourdough, you know that sometimes at the end of the week, you might have one bagel or half a bagel or a couple of biscuits or some ends of bread that's getting a bit dry. I like to cut those things up, toast them in the oven all on one big baking sheet, put them in the blender, and keep breadcrumbs in a mason jar on the countertop for so many things, and this is another way to use them. The super flavorful gravy comes together with mushrooms, beef stock, tomato paste, Worcestershire sauce, Dijon mustard, honey, balsamic vinegar, and some herbs, a little bit of flour. I love it because those are all things that I always keep in my pantry. We have another whole hog at the butcher ready to pick up, but right now I am just getting through all of the ends and pieces, so to speak, of the last pork. One of those are ends and pieces of bacon. A lot of times the butcher will just throw those in and they work great. They just have to be cut up a bit because they're usually kind of thick, but I will use the fat that they render to saute some onions and garlic as a base for this wonderful potato soup. And then of course I will use the bacon ends and pieces that I chopped up and cooked to top the potato soup. We love all kinds of soup in the wintertime, but loaded potato soup is especially cozy. It always makes it into our winter menu. Again, everything that's in it is something that I always keep so I can make it at a moment's notice. We add protein through a lot of shredded cheese and bacon and broth and cream. A lot of times we'll serve it with bread as well. It's something that everyone loves. I'm curious to hear what you are making in your kitchen for your family and what is on your menu this season. Let me know in the comments below.